Hey you folks, this is Jadius, and once again I am without my co-caster Baeus, still on vacation. Going to be back sometime later this week. Speaking of, I hope everybody out there is enjoying their Labor Day weekend. I know that I am. Some early shenanigans from Morrow and Huck, who are our two competitors here for the game today. Of course, as I've stated. I stated before, Morrow, one of my favorite players from way back in beta, just loving his style, and he keeps getting better and better throughout the release of the game, and really aggressive tank push tactics, working out map control. And on the bottom here, the red Protoss is Huck, which is Canada's great StarCraft hope, and having just come off from winning the MLG Rally tournament, first StarCraft 2 tournament sanctioned for MLG and MLG's newest 2010 season. Proves, hopefully it's going to prove to be an amazing game here, and I'm really looking forward to it. No question of the game, unfortunately. No email questions for me, so Baeus isn't here to supply a question. No email questions, so unfortunately nothing I can really talk about. Like I said, Labor Day weekend, everybody's relaxing, everybody's having fun, so hopefully we can get the Wood League Roundup number 2 out for you guys tomorrow or Tuesday. Probe going absolutely mental here for Huck. That's a pro tip. It shows your opponent that you really mean business when you're able to pull off such crazy breakdancing tactics there for Huck, and with his probe. Of course, probe's known to slide around the map, so using that to his advantage for some slidey dance tactics. And of course, nothing really out of the ordinary right now for these two folks, known to do pretty standard builds early on. Morrow out with an early barracks to a Marine, going to push out and see what he can find. Make sure there's no proxy funny business going out. Of course, something all Terrans need to do when playing Protoss early in the match, just to see, if there's any early aggression. A lot of games ended pretty early these days through OTing or through proxy gateways, proxy towers, and the like, proxy stargates. Even we've seen we saw a few in the Boss Arena tournament. So just peeking out his head with an SCV and with a Marine, and making sure no funny business. And I think he's seen that that's in fact not going to happen in this game. Very unlikely to happen between two gamers of this caliber. But Huck and Morrow doing pretty standard scouting right now. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Still with the gateway units, with the barracks units being pumped out. Marines here. Factory going up for Morrow. Double gas for both players. Cybernetics core working on warp technology here for Huck, and nothing too strange. Of course, Morrow probably or likely going for a quick siege tank build. That's been his style more or less in the last few weeks. Really asserting, especially on maps of this size, can assert a lot of map control, positioning, and intimidation to the other player, with a lot of great tank positioning. Of course, Morrow also known to use bunkers quite aggressively, using them to push forward that tank line and push forward that map control. So we're going to see if he is able to exert the same amount of authority here against Huck. Sentry being made here for Huck. Going to see maybe thinking that it can push back an early Marine Marauder break into his base, but nothing seems to be on the way here for Morrow at this point. Morrow getting a very fast second command center. He's known as a very fast expander as far as Terrans are concerned. Very fast. There we have the first tank out. Another tank on the way here for Morrow. So more of the same here for Morrow, sticking with the strategy that's been working for him in the last little while. Heavy tank build. Right now, a robotics facility already out for Huck. He's going to start doing some scouting. Very wise to get those observers out early on for the Protoss, before the Terran has really felt the need to build missile turrets, felt the need to have that engineering bay, and to protect himself from air. So it's very good to have the observer out early, see what's going on, see what kind of build the Terran is doing. I assume Huck probably has done his research here, probably knows that Morrow is going to go for a heavy tank build. Of course, both these players very, very capable of transitioning when they see something funny, when they see something that will trump their standard build. But for now, pretty standard stuff from both players. Huck pretty much covering all his bases right now. The only thing missing really is a Stargate as far as early tech is concerned. Both of these players right now moving out to their natural expansions and getting those started. MorroW probably going to have the edge as far as timing there, having built his command center a little earlier, but the Nexus warping in for Huck should only be about a minute behind the worker transfer in effect for MorroW. Going to get this up and running, and going to start pushing these siege tanks out and start moving out his front line, moving out his battlements, and as it were, a couple of reactor and a tech lab up there for MorroW's 2 barracks. Gonna stick with the barracks units as far as that's concerned. No starport for either of these players. No area units for either of these players to speak of as of now. Units pretty even. As far as workers are concerned, the nod goes to Huck. But with the mules out on the board, it's a little too close to call, especially with MorroW getting this natural expansion up and running right now. You got to think that he's pretty comfortable where the game is going for the time being. Mineral income definitely skewed towards him right now, as far as as long as the mules are alive, but they'll be dead pretty soon, and like I said, a little too close to call as far as income right now. Both of these players, I suspect that Huck is a little bit nervous about pushing out across the map. He is going for this nearby gold mineral expansion, but I'm sure that these players have watched replays of each other, have kind of done the research, and I know that I would if I were in their position, and I also am aware of this being a 5 or 6 game series between the two of them. I don't know if it was a tournament. I think that it was just kind of a show match series that the two of them did after Huck won MLG Rally. So these players are used to playing to each other now. I think this was maybe the 2nd or 3rd game in the series by all accounts. It is the most entertaining game, so I think Huck is going to be prepared for this line of siege tanks that MorroW is classically been doing in the last little while. He's going to poke out with these Stalkers C, make sure MorroW hasn't had any illusions of getting this gold mineral expansion. Probably going to blink up on this high ground and do some early harass. Blink, very, very important against Terran, in my opinion. I think a lot of people, I think it's underused for a lot of people in traditional matches and in all across BattleNet. Blink, especially early blink harassment, really, really important. A lot of Protoss players complaining that Reapers and Terran, the Terran wall is just a little hard for them to handle, and Blink is definitely something that allows you to pull off some harassment, which is classically belongs to Terran as far as StarCraft 2 is concerned, I think. And it also gives you a lot of room to transition, to pull off something that maybe the Terran isn't ready for, as he's just totally concerned with this blinking harass. So Huck able to get his Stalkers out of there. One of them is gonna take the punishment from the siege tank, but managed to escape. But now a huge cluster of Marines and with a Marauder there. Gonna try to grab these Stalkers. Huck gonna try to bring this Observer over, and he does bring it over in time to get the Stalkers a sight on this other batch of high ground, and he is going to get his Stalkers to escape. Great anticipation there. Great foresight by Huck to bring the Observer over right away and escape. Get his Stalkers to escape. And pretty chippy stuff here from both players, kind of testing the waters, kind of seeing how far they can reach out. Another forward command center for MorroW here, probably going to bring it over to the gold mineral expansion, or perhaps turn it into a planetary fortress, which he has been known to do in his forward positioning, aiding his siege tank line as it moves across the map and really exerts tremendous map control and aggression. But these Stalkers with their blink are really going to be able to tease and prod, poke and prod, and it's going to allow Huck to see that ghosts are coming out now. In fact, he's going to kill, no, he's not going to kill both, but he's going to kill one and seriously injure another. So a lot of minerals lost there for MorroW, and Huck now knows what he's up to. His main force is probably going to be adjusted accordingly, a little bit more range perhaps, and MorroW trying to get probably some vision over on this high ground, knows that that Huck is running stalkers back and forth through these tall grass, and wondering what is going on. Where to position his siege tanks. Siege tank positioning looks pretty strong here for MorroW. 6 siege tanks strong in the middle by his nearest Zelnaga watchtower. Of course, using his barracks as a scouting device, which MorroW or a lot of good Terrans have been known to do. These stalkers still, though, exerting a lot of terror, bringing out some terror stalkers out here on MorroW the Terran, and taking out a medevac, taking out a missile turret, and really just being allowed to run free here. And they're probably going to blink away any minute now. The EMP going down on their shields. The shields are going to take a major hit. No more shields on these stalkers, so I think Huck figures I might as well use them up and get as much damage as I can. Going to take it down. At my count, about 4 or 5 SCVs, a missile turret, a medevac, so a good amount of damage there for those stalkers.